Good morning, pumpkins. Hello, Emma. Hello, Megan. How are you today? Get a little more comfort in my chair here. Oops, sorry. How are you? I should have gave a warning before I took that sip, but meh, I needed tea. I have a new phone on its way right now, and once I get it and I work everything out, I will have double screen, finally split screen where I have my cards on one side and me on the other. So I'm super looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. Gotta figure out how to do it, but yeah, it should be really cool. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. It is snowing hard here. I'll show you out my window. Oops, can't go too far. It's very pretty when you're warm and inside, but it's not so much fun when you have to take a dog out in it. Yeah, my old one was on the verge of death, and I was able to get a refurbished one from my cell phone provider for like on a they call it the tabs. It's an extra like $10 a month. Yeah, $10 a month. Um, so yeah, and I'll have a Google Pixel 6. Not that I'm sponsored by them, but I've never really been one to be like desperate to get the newest technology, but I want something that's going to last for a while because yeah, I've had my phone for a long time, and it's on its last leg. Yeah, freezing rain's no fun, and I think we had freezing rain this morning, very early, and now it's got a little colder, so yeah, it's just snow. All right, so I am going to try doing a reading. So I'll give you there are a few that I want to do right now that are like on my board. So looking at Elon Musk, Cody Brown, Actually, I'll save the FLDS one because that's going to be heavy. So yeah, Cody Brown, Elon Musk, Paul and Morgan, and Girl Defined. I think are the ones on my list to do for tarot readings. Yeah, I think a lot of them are. You're right. I'm looking into getting Google Home. When I was staying with Jess and Annie, they have Google Home, and it was a lot of fun and so handy. Like I was laying awake thinking about something and didn't want to reach for my phone and Google it, and I could have just called out, "Hey Google, what's this person's name?" And yeah, could have known instantly. Um, right. So let's see. I'm going to actually. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know of Nate and Sutton. I know that they were on a few Paul and Morgan episodes, but I don't know a lot about Nate and Sutton. Um, but Paul and Morgan have been on my list for a while, and Fundy Fridays just covered Paul and Morgan on Friday night, so they're kind of relevant with Fundy Fridays covering them. Can I just say, Funny Fridays, they are my hashtag relationship goals. I long to be in this body positive relationship with someone who adores me and just do creative shit in a house that is surrounded by animals. So yeah, they've got their pets. They are really progressive and forward thinking. And James is so kind to Jen, and they seem like a really good match. And yeah, I like watching their relationship grow. And I love watching their channel grow. Like I've been a subscriber of Fundy Fridays since like I remember when they did their like 5,000 or 6,000 episode celebration, and they have grown so much as creators. Like they're so much better at editing, about presenting now, and it's really high quality stuff. They love the homosexuals. I love the homosexuals as well. I have, yeah. I don't want to be like I'm not homophobic. I have gay friends, but yeah, I think that I love people who can be open about who they love and who are not ashamed of that. I've mentioned that my daughter is part of the LGBTQ community. She identifies as bisexual, and I'm far more concerned with how my daughter's partner treats her than their gender. Okay, let's get into some tarot. So Emma and Megan, would you like a card of the week? So that's my new thing here. I'm enjoying doing this because I do want to give like a little bit of a incentive to continue to be a part of my channel, but at the same point I don't want to like give everything away. Okay. So, oh yeah, I was gonna get out my new deck. I have two new decks, two, and yeah. So I'll show you them after I do this. Okay. And then I think I'll take that footage and make it a separate video. That sounds like fun. Okay, so Megan, your card of the week, Page of Swords. This is the student card. I don't think this is an official student card. If you are thinking of going back to school, then this is a good sign. If you're not looking at going back to school, I would say like doing your own private study on something, actually researching something, learning how to do something by yourself and getting into the nitty gritty of it, getting the deep dive of it. I would even suggest like, going to the library, taking an online class where you can learn how to do something. So yeah, this is the time to really learn how to do something, especially like when the weather is not the best and you can stay inside and be warm and really get your whet your appetite with learning about something. Okay, Five of Pence. All right, Emma, your card. We have the Four of Cups. Dream big. Sometimes people want to put this card like the law of attraction. I have issues with the law of attraction, and I will do a video. I should maybe post it for that as well. I've got post-its behind here, a law of attraction video on my issue with it. But this is really about setting your goals. Hi, Angel. This is about setting your goals and really deciding what you want and visualizing how that's going to look and being specific about how you want that to look so that you can flesh that out and make it reality. And sometimes that's through focusing on something and making decisions about how to get that in your life, right? Angel, would you like a card of the week? Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I ordered some groceries last night and I got like $80 worth of groceries and it was like nothing. It was like 2.5 bags. That was the Four of Cups. Do you remember what your card was last week, Angel? Okay, so I love this card. Some people don't, but it's a really Oh, that's right. You are looking at moving to Mexico. Okay, and this is the card that I love. Okay, so I have the Devil card, and I love this card because it is about facing your fears and doing something scary and taking a big leap. So this is important for yeah, if you're looking at moving to a new country. Did you Did you happen to watch that video with Lorian? Um, yeah, this is kind of about also like going against the grain and going out against what the norm is and what people think you should do and being a rebel. So I like this card here, and I think this is the perfect card for you this week. Yeah, I might end up yeah, I'll ask if you send me an email, Caroline@carolinironwill.com. I'm gonna ask Lorian if I can hook you two up to talk about her move to Mexico. So yeah, the story was she had, I don't know if I told the story last week, but I guess I'll tell it again. She had contacted me about, like, we had a reading, and as friends we give each other readings all the time, and she needed like $5,000 in dental work done. She was in Toronto, her health wasn't good, and she was just like not doing well in Toronto, and she kept getting rent evicted, which is, yeah, it couldn't find a place to live. And I gave her a tarot reading, and I kept seeing like um, Spanish speaking motifs coming up, and about Santa Muerte, which is the goddess of death in Mexico. And so I think I said, like, have you considered um, medical travel? So she went to, hey, Wickedly Witchy. So I went to, or yeah, I told her to look into medical tourism, and so she had her teeth fixed in a clinic in Playa del Carmen for like next to nothing. Well, it was so for her to fly to Mexico, stay in a resort for a week, get her teeth fixed in a clean, reputable, English-speaking clinic, and fly back was less than half the cost of getting her teeth done in Canada. And while she was down there, she found that her health was better, she could breathe better, she was just happier. So she ended up moving down to Playa del Carmen. She has an apartment that is near the ocean. She pays like $200 a month. She can breathe. Her health is better than it ever has been. She's lost a ton of weight in a healthy way. She has a neighbor who she actually pays like $100 a month to make her food because she has a lot of dietary issues. So yeah, she loved it. And during COVID, she ended up having to come back to Canada for a little bit. And she was in Canada for a few months staying with her son, and she couldn't breathe. Her health was poor. She put on a ton of weight. She was just like unhappy and miserable. And she's like, I cannot stay in the city. This city is going to kill me. And so, yeah, she went back to Mexico and is loving life. And I'm so happy for her. So, yeah. And Playa del Carmen is it's a resort town, so it's not like, because I know that there are some areas of Mexico that really aren't safe for tourists and for people, gringos, English-speaking people. So do be aware. Yeah, no, not everywhere is created equal, but yeah, she's incredibly happy. She does feel the effects of hurricanes sometimes. So yeah, the power of being like somewhere when there's a hurricane, that was really intense. Oh my goodness, like the cost of rent is like so ridiculous. The cost of everything, like I just saw that the average price of a one-bedroom apartment here in Toronto is $2,500. I had a mortgage on a house, a four-bedroom house that was under $1,000. Like it's night and day of what it was. Like rent has doubled in the past 5 years. I'm so fortunate that I don't need to pay rent right now because I'm a live-in caregiver, so I get this flat included with my duties, and I've got weekends off, and yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, and I find it's very difficult living in downtown Toronto with like the amount of energy, and right now I don't have a car, so if I had a car, I'd be out hiking on the weekends, like going out into the woods, or getting out of the city, because being in the big city, it's a lot of noise, a lot of energy, a lot of stimulus, and yeah, it's sensory overload. It's a bit much. and especially for me being someone who's like sensitive to energy, it can be really tough to deal with being in a big city. Yeah, I hear that, Angel. My mother's stepmother, I'm not close with my mom, and she's not close with her family, but she moved to Costa Rica, I think in the late 80s, so that was the last time I saw her. And she opened up a B&B and in near San Jose. So she's in a small town like on the edge of the rainforest near San Jose. And I always wanted to go visit because I'm the only one in my family who speaks Spanish. In saying that, I speak a little bit of broken Spanglish. I can order dinner and ask for directions to the bathroom and, have small talk. I'm not fluent. But yeah, um, I always wanted to go down. She's in her 90s now, and I think that she may have actually moved to Florida with my mom's half sister, her daughter. So, but yeah, she opened up a B&B and lived for many decades in Costa Rica and loved it. She was a teacher in Canada, and so every summer she'd travel, and she went to Costa Rica and fell in love with it and stayed. I have yet to travel, and that's something that really I want to change in my life. I grew up in a blue collar family, and we went on vacation every year. My parents didn't have a ton of money, but we always went on vacation to, which is usually like a week long road trip. And my parents did their best. When I say we didn't have a lot of money, we always had a roof over our head. We always had food. I'm in the middle of three girls, so yeah, and we had hand-me-downs, but it's no big deal. I have an older cousin, so it was funny. Like the hand-me-downs would go from my older cousin to my older sister to me, and then by the time they were done with me, it's like they were kind of threadbare and worn out. So my younger sister would get new clothes. But we didn't really travel. My dad didn't have an interest in traveling really, so I had this thought when I graduated high school that I can do frickin' anything. I could go anywhere. And then my daughter was conceived. So I became a mom at 20, and I watched all my friends travel and experience the world. And now my daughter is in her 20s, and she's off on the other side of the country, and I want to travel. So I'd mentioned that I'm seeing someone. Don't really know where it's going, but we met online, and his profile talked about travel, and that was one thing that really attracted me to him, is that is he has this love of travel, and like first date, I'd asked him if I gave you a plane to go anywhere, where would you? Okay, yeah, he's actually in Dubai right now for 2 weeks, so yeah, I think that's amazing. That he has this ability to travel, and I want to do that. There's so many places I want to go, and so many places I want to see, and like I'm such a history nerd, especially like art history. I went to art school a million years ago, and I did really well in art history, so I'd love to see Florence. I want to go to Paris. There's so many places, even like within London, that I want to see, like London, England. And my mom actually grew up in Nottingham, England. She was born in Canada, but she's a base brat. So she grew up in Nottingham, and which is like the whole like Robin Hood thing, which I love. Yeah, so many places I want to go. So yeah, I'm actually taking a trip in May for my birthday. I'm going to drive down to visit some people. So it's not as exciting, but I've never been to Florida. So I'm actually going to go to Florida, but I'm going to visit friends, and I look at my schedule, and I'm not actually going to have much time to sightsee. So yeah, I'm starting off the day after my birthday. I'm going, it's a Tuesday, I have a week off, and I'm going to have dinner in Pittsburgh, and then I'm staying the night in Virginia, just outside of Washington. spending that day, the next day in Washington, and then next morning I'm going to North Carolina, and then down to Florida. And yeah, I'm going to get to visit a bunch of people who I've been friends with online for upwards 15 years and haven't met in person. So I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. And then driving back and then starting work on Monday. Yeah, do you remember Sarah Mastros? She was on the channel. She was the lady in the yellow garb. Yeah, she lives in Pittsburgh, and she's actually leaving like the next day for England and Wales. So we're going to get together for dinner that night with two other people who I've met through her, possibly three. And yeah, we'll have dinner that night, and then I'm driving after dinner to my friend staying there. Yeah, it should be good. And then in October, I'm going to take another week of vacation. And I don't know if I'm going to go visit my daughter because her birthday is in October, or if I'm going to go to Europe or go to England. Like, I don't want to travel alone. I know that there's some people who, and I do a lot of things alone in my life, and I'd really love to just share the adventure with someone. And if I share an adventure with anyone, I'd love to share it with my daughter. We've talked about if she could go anywhere in the world, she would go to Florence. So I think that's where we're going to go. If she's up for going. I mean, she finishes her course in the end of August, I think. So yeah, she'll probably be like just starting a new job, and of course she can't take time off in her first week at a new job or first month at a new job. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's so much I want to see and do, and I'm really interested in learning about Appalachian magic and Appalachian cultures. It's called Appalachian granny magic, sometimes called powwow, and there's an entire magical tradition that started in the Appalachian, and it does combine some elements of some Native American stuff, but it's also a tradition in itself. And magic has always been the tool of the oppressed until you get to like Victorian England, and then the wealthy start to practice it. But it's always been like something that when you have nothing else to do and there's no other way to do something, you do it magically. And there's these like mosaics that they paint on barns that are really pretty. And yes, there's very much a Celtic influence as well. You're right. Especially when it comes to the Sidhe. So the Sidhe are, for lack of a better term, fairies. And with the Sidhe, there's a lot of like, talk of little unseen creatures, and there's a lot of influence of like these creatures that are more based in North American lore. So one of the monsters that I just find fascinating, if you ever want to go down a rabbit trail or a rabbit hole and look into something, not deer. So deer, but not deer. And it's actually like one word of Notdeer. And they're deer, but they're not deer. And it's wild. Like they walk on two hind legs and have glowing red eyes, and they've got like weird shaped faces that are like more because most animals that are like prey, they have eyes on the side of their head so they can see around. But animals that are predators have two eyes in front. So these deer have two eyes in front, and they're just like wild. So yeah, it's, but yeah, lots of stuff like that. Wicked Witchy, do you want a card of the week? It's a new thing that I'm doing as part of this channel, and it is free. Excuse me. I've got the tag, the price tag on the bottom of my cup. I'm looking at it. So now you know that this mug cost me $2.50 at Dollarama. There we go. Now my tea's done. Okay, so Wicked Witchy, I did pull a card for you. If you're ready for it, I have the Justice card. So Justice Reverse. So this is about things not being fair, and especially things not being not going well in terms of legal stuff. So let me pull a clarifier for you on that. Knight of Swords, and it's because somebody doesn't know what they're talking about, and you've heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect, where someone thinks they're smart and they're actually not, and a smart person would say, I don't know, and a not smart person would say, I don't need to learn anything because I know everything. It's kind of that thing that somebody does a mess up with some sort of legal paperwork, and it's because they don't know what they're doing. So, which is easy to overcome. So this looks like it's minor. So if you are to get a ticket or something like that, there's some sort of legal mess up, double and triple check everything. If you get a ticket and they make an error, if the officer giving the ticket makes an error and puts the wrong date or something, then you can fight it and it gets thrown out pretty easily. So I don't think it's anything to worry about, but yeah, sometimes people are just idiots and there's not much you can do. And to book a reading, you can also go through my website, which is www.carolineironwell.com. I know I need to update my website. I don't remember how to get into the editing part, but yeah, I'll fix that soon. All right, so things that are upcoming for February. I have 2 unboxings. I'm not going to do it now, but I'll show you the outside of the box with the cellophane on. Now, right behind me, I gotta pull my pants up. I don't want to give you a moon. Where did the other one go? So I got the Magical Dog Tarot, and I think it's in. Oh. Oh, it's right here. Last Unicorn Tarot. So yeah. I'll be doing separate videos unboxing each of these, and yeah, that will be cool. I'm going to continue with the tarot brunches Sundays at noon because they seem to be going well and a lot of fun. Yes, I'm going to be doing so every Tuesday, instead of doing Tarot Tuesday as a live stream, I'm going to be doing a oh, me too. I'm going to be doing a pre-recorded video to come out Tuesdays at noonish, or not noonish, eveningish. I should, as soon as my camera comes in, I'm going to start doing the daily Merlin readings, and I will be using Tarot for Dogs just for Merlin. My mod Marissa suggested that. Got 2 more videos coming out on Doreen Virtue eventually. Kind of limiting myself to at least, at most once a month. I don't want to overdo it. And that should be it for Doreen Virtue unless she does something else. So yeah, I've got 2 more. And one of them's a big one. I want to do readings on Elon Musk, FLDS, Cody Brown, Paula Morgan, Girl Defined. I'm going to do, what else do I have on my list here? And I'm finally going to get to that video again of why I don't call myself a witch. That's a hard one. I've posted it, I've filmed it and recorded it and edited it and posted it 3 times, and each time YouTube has taken it down, not demonetized it, but said we are deleting this. We do not want this on our platform. And part of that is because I talk about what actually happened to mostly women during the witch craze in some detail, and I didn't spell anything because I didn't want to like make it cutesy. And there's also a clip from Al Jazeera News of a young boy in sub-Saharan Africa, and this boy isn't wearing clothes. It's not done in like a CSAM type thing, like it's not child popcorn. It's a child who's been neglected and is vulnerable. So and I didn't blur anything, so I think I may need to blur that part out. So it's a lot of work, and every single time that I have filmed it, I have broken down crying at some point. And then also like I have to rewatch it when I edit it, and then I do a final check before I post it. Usually, sometimes I don't, but yeah. So it's like I have to go through the material 3 times, and when it's that hard, it's it's tough. So I don't expect that video, if it gets published, will be monetized, because I can't see YouTube being okay with monetizing that. If it is, meh. But yeah, it's basically like any trigger warning you could imagine for a woman and a child to go through. Like, humans can be really awful. We can be really, I think humans are amazing, and I consider myself a humanist, but I think that we're also capable of a lot of horror. So, all right. Does anyone else happen to have any questions? Reading, Emma, I know we have an appointment coming up, and there's something else that I'd like to talk to you about in our session, Emma. I might just email you about that. So I think we're going to wrap up. I hope you have a fantastic day, pumpkins, and may you pray with a good fire. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to like, and if you haven't subscribed, I think everyone here is one of my regular pumpkins, but make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube is once again unsubscribing. So may you pray with a good fire, and have a great week. Take care.